Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Hello, glad you could join us again today. We are in the process right now of looking at jurisdictional government. Now, in this, we've looked at self-government, which is the basic foundation of all jurisdictions. Now, we have shifted to the second jurisdiction that God created, which is family government. Family government. And with that, we've already looked at a few things about it, but what I want to talk about today is how that family government is the building blocks of society. It is the building block of community. We spent a good time looking at if self-government is not right, then every other jurisdiction fails. And if you would, in that sense, the second most important jurisdiction is family. Now, some would say, well, it's the most important. Well, I understand both perspectives and both outlooks. I'm just drawing a distinction here because, if you would, one of the biggest things that family government is to do is instill good self-government. It's supposed to instill good self-government. If the family is doing okay, but it doesn't instill good self-government in the children, then that creates all kinds of failures throughout society. Let's read from Ephesians chapter 6. We'll start with verse 1. It says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with you and that you may live long on the earth. And you, fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord." So verses 1, 2, and 3 really address the idea that children are under the jurisdiction of their parents. And then verse 4 shows us that parents are to instill certain things in their children. You see, the school system is not the one responsible to teach our children. Parents are. Now, that doesn't mean the parents have to do it. There would be things I would not be qualified to have taught my sons as they were growing up. But the development of my children, that responsibility fell to me and my wife. It fell to us. And you see, with that, bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. The family unit is to instill the things into the individuals that they need to have good self-government, to learn self-control, to learn discipline, to learn a work ethic, to learn to obey God, to learn to worship God. All of these things, I'm just putting different random ones out, not in order of priority. But you see, with this, when that family unit fails to do that, then the building blocks of society end up not having a good foundation. And it creates problems going forward from there. The family unit must be protected. It must be preserved. There has to be things to encourage it. Now, and I'm going to talk more about that during the course of this week. How can we protect the family? God bless you. Join us again tomorrow.
You've been listening to Ecclesia Principles with Ray Eppard. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook on our Ray Eppard pages. This program was brought to you by Victory Worship Center and World Outreach. Services Sunday 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 200 Hammond Lane, Stanton, Virginia.